wage bill conference that was there. Because at the end of the day, Parliament is the one that appropriates money that pays the public service, servants both at the counties and the national, Mr. Speaker. But the essence and the gist of the matter, while we argue that we pay over 1.4 trillion to public servants, for example, most counties are also gone beyond the rules and regulations of minimum of 35%. I don't think there is a county that is below 35%. Most of them are 60. Therefore, you find the recurrent expenditure, and that is a time bomb, Mr. Speaker. I know with the creation of this bill, there will be perception that we are ballooning the wage bill. That is not the case. This is based on need assessment, Mr. Speaker. Because when you look at counties, there is a time bomb, Mr. Speaker, that is happening in our counties. The wage bill is very sad because at the end of the day, where I come from, for example, Nandi, people who have been hired, of 4,333 that have been hired by Nandi County. Over 60% of money that has been allocated to Nandi goes to wages, goes to salaries and personal emoluments, Mr. Speaker. I know for Parliament, and we have argued, Mr. Speaker, with county assemblies, including yours, Bomet, that we have argued that should Parliament of Kenya and county assemblies be subjected to 35%. Our thinking is not. Because at the end of the day, most of the work of parliamentary work, both at county assembly and at national parliament, is essentially recurrent. It's more of, we do our work based on recurrent. It is based on staff. You know, the difference is that we don't implement, we don't make a road. Instead, we hire researchers, we hire clerks, and that is the essence that we need to ensure, Mr. Speaker. So the point I'm trying to make is that while we argue the wage bill has become a challenge, and I want to inform the House, because I have had the pleasure of sitting in Senate Public Accounts for almost 6-7 years now, Mr. Speaker. The challenge that we have, and senators should know this, is the issue of wage bill is becoming a serious issue. Because, Mr. Speaker, and I know the members of National Assembly the other day were trying to vilify our additional of 415 billion, and we say that is modest, Mr. Speaker. The budget of the country is 4.2 trillion. In fact, we should be blaming the National Assembly, Mr. Speaker, for delaying, because under Article 210, it says latest audited accounts. It is the National Assembly that have taken long to ensure they update latest audited accounts, because we are using accounts that was around 1.2 to 3 trillion at that, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, at the end of the day, when we request for 415 billion to counties, we are aware there are challenges with counties. We are aware there corruption. We are aware, and I know a story from your county, a village called Kiswahili, but the person who spoke did not have Kiswahili. And the village is called Kiswahili about the swept bridge in that village. We want the money to go to the development in counties. But that one is not a justification to deny counties enough resources to do their job. Mr. Speaker, we have a challenge with on-source revenue. The potential that has been given by CRA to counties, for example, Nandi is at 630 million. I don't know, Makwene, maybe when Senator Manzo will be speaking, will tell us revenue potential. The question is, we must ask counties, even in Kakamega, we must ask counties to improve on their own source revenue so that they don't depend only on equitable shareable revenue that comes from Nairobi. Mr. Speaker, the soft underbelly in the success of devolution is corruption. What we should be demanding as a parliament, and this is my free advice, as I come to the tail end and to my submissions, Mr. Speaker, I want to advise the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, they are the one who appropriate finances to EACC through the State Department of Law and Chief Administrative of Justice. What National Assembly should be doing is to invite the EACC to tell us what are they doing about the fight against corruption in counties and other sectors, Mr. Speaker. I am aware, I saw in the news that EACC had recovered a property of over 3 billion. They are targeting to recover 7 billion. That is good. But we want to know who took this property so that we name and shame them. And they should be charged in the court of law, Mr. Speaker. So it is not enough telling us you have recovered through illicit money, through money that has not been gotten properly. The National Assembly, and I want to challenge the Justice Legal Affairs Committee of National Assembly, led by my brother. that let them, the best way they can assist us as counties, let them put pressure on EACC to fight corruption in counties. We saw the fertilizer scandal by the county government of Kakamega. We want to know who was implicated, Mr. Speaker, because as we fight the bigger cartels in Nairobi, we also fight the upcoming and growing and maturing cartels in counties, Mr. Speaker, through EACC, Mr. Speaker, and other organs. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to say to governors on this aspect of devolution, I hope, Mr. Speaker, and I want to request as we form this law, that let officers that will go to manage county offices be from Kenya Meteorological Department, that authority that we shall establish, Mr. Speaker. We don't want also governors to take advantage. I know we have a challenge of wage bill. You get a governor, there is a governor from Western Kenya, I think he's former. He used to have his VIP toilet being carried around. Mr. Speaker, you used to have a seat being carried around. I don't know, Senator, even Machakos. I don't know, Mr. Speaker, why would you carry a mobile toilet around unless you're having diarrhea or you're having stomachache? Why would you carry? And what is wrong, Mr. Speaker? Why are you carrying your seat? If you, Mr. Speaker, why don't you sit on a plastic chair? And the people who gave you, why would you carry your seat somewhere from, you take your seat from Kapsabet, like my governor, all the way to Tindred, around 50 kilometers. For what? Only to sit. Why don't you sit on a plastic chair or sit on anything that is there so that you show you are with the people, Mr. Speaker? Why would governors, and then you have a retinue of advisors, Mr. Speaker. One governor has over 10 advisors. What is he being advised about? Is it including advice on the issues of girlfriends, or what is the problem has been asserted by this? What are they advising on, Mr. Speaker? Are they advising? You had people are being advised by 10 advisors. Mr. Speaker, even Jesus Christ is the only counselor and wonderful guider, as is in Isaiah, in the book of Isaiah provided by, and I know Senator Mahanzo is our caucus chair of National Prayer Breakfast, and will tell you the only counselor is Jesus Christ. Why is governor having 10 advisors? You know, I've never understood. On youth affairs, what do you want to know about youth? And you know you don't have employment. Why don't you put a budget on how youth can be empowered, how women can be empowered, Mr. Speaker? So I want to say I support this bill. I look at the issue of research, if we can amend to include partnership with learning institutions, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want also to send my condolences to you and the people of Bomet for one of our best, just 30 seconds, Mr. Speaker, for one of our best local secular artists, Sweet Star, for losing his beloved mother from in Bomet, Mr. Speaker. We are praying with you and take our condolences to him and the music fraternity in Bomet. You know, Bomet is the home of our local music, Mr. Speaker. I thank you and I support.
Thank you very much, Senator Cherargei. I can confirm that your condolences will get to the bereaved family.